Folks, I've looked through so many different models, and to me, this is the most bang for your buck.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Appraiser Coach Podcast. My name is Dustin Harris. I am your host. I want to talk laser measurers today. Hopefully we can get that word out today. Laser measuring devices, if you want to call them. First, I want to pause and remind you that we are sponsored by a great company called Spark. Spark for Appraisers. Folks, if you are looking to speed up your time to be more efficient at what you do, check them out by going to Spark for F-O-R appraisers.com. Again, it's spark4appraisers.com. Folks, it is the age-old question. I see it all the time when it comes to appraisers, right? We want the best tools in the shed, if you will. We want to have at our fingertips items that will make us better at what we do, items that will make us more efficient at what we do. And a laser measuring device is a given. You have to have one, folks. I'm sorry, this is not a podcast on whether you should be using a laser or a 100-foot tape or a roller. I'm sorry, that debate has left the barn. There is no debate. You need a laser measuring device. I know all of the excuses. Oh, I can't see the laser. Oh, what about this? When am I going to bounce it off? Folks, I've done a whole course on mobile appraising where we went into depth about how to use a laser measuring device. And folks, you will never go back. Do my 10 house challenge. Look it up on my website, theappraisercoach.com. Look up the blog post, the 10 house challenge, and you will never go back once you try it for 10 full houses. It's going to be hard. The first couple of houses, you're going to want to give up. I wanted to put mine up on the shelf the first time I did a laser. By the way, I've been using lasers since the year 2000. I'm not kidding. A long time. I've used a lot of different devices. I've used a lot of different companies over the years. And there is one right now in 2024 that is better than all the others. I'm going to break it down for you. But first, I want to pause and remind you that we're sponsored by a great company called Spark. Spark for Appraisers. What is it? Well, folks, it's the ability to get rid of the tedious work of appraisal. You should be working on appraisal work, not on data entry. Okay, Spark is the technology which will allow you to do that. It's amazing. You hit one button after you choose the data and it imports it into your report. No matter what software you're using, it will work for you. Check them out on their website. Look at some of their videos. You'll be blown away about how much time it will save you. Spark4appraisers.com. Again, it's Spark4, F-O-R, appraisers.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Just doing a little dancing to the beat. I want to talk laser measurers today. Again, this is not the program. We're going to talk about whether or not you should have a laser measurer. You should. This is the episode as to where I tell you the best value right now. Now, I'm just going to warn you, I'm a little bit biased, okay? Because I've used other companies, and I will tell you there's probably some pretty good ones these days from Bosch, from Stanley, from others, okay? The best value forever, and it's the first laser measure I bought. I remember I spent $650 on this thing. It's a brick. I barely threw it away a couple of weeks ago. I kid you not. I had it 25 years, and I finally got 24 years, and I finally got rid of it a couple of weeks ago. And it worked for all of those years. Now, I didn't use it every day for all of those years, but it worked for all of those years. And it finally just went kaput. What happened was a battery corroded inside it. I used it as a backup, put it in the back of my truck. It got wet. Not Disto's fault, my fault. Finally had to throw the thing away. It was sad. We had a funeral for it. I am a big Leica fan. Leica makes Distos. I'm a big fan of Distos. Folks, I've used the Bosch, and they're good. They're not great. I've used Stanley. They're not good. They're good for interior stuff. They're not great at all. They're not even good. I would avoid. I will give you this. If you're looking for a great laser measure, You can probably find a pretty darn good one with Bosch, okay? But in my opinion, over the years, I've used many different brands. I love how Leica stands behind its products. I love how I had one for 25 years before I threw it away. 24, sorry, 24 years. Don't want to over exaggerate before I finally threw it away. To me, there is no doubt. Let's just start with that. Disto is the brand name. Leica is the brand name that you're going to want to go with. If you're getting confused, Leica makes Disto. So when I say Disto, when I say Leica, it's the same thing. That's the company you're going to want to stick with. Now, they have many different brands or models, if you will, of laser measurers out there. Okay, there's a couple of features that to me are a no-brainer. First of all, you've got to have the plus and the minus feature. Most all models, in fact, I would dare say all models have the plus and minus feature at this point, okay? But there's a couple of other things in there that I think are pretty amazing. Let's talk Bluetooth for just a second. Bluetooth is pretty cool because you can Bluetooth to your iPad or your phone or whatever you're using to gather the information on site, okay? I use my phone. I'm not a big fan of the Bluetooth, even though it's a really cool feature, and here's why. It takes a bit to set it up, and it seems like it goes out more often than not, meaning it disconnects from your device, and then you've got to reconnect the thing. It's almost easier, in my opinion, just to use my finger to measure with the laser, and then type it in with my finger on the screen. I've got it down to a science. So to me, the Bluetooth is not a big deal, but it might be a big deal to you. And I'll come back to that in just a second when I'm talking about two different models here. The other thing is what I call, I don't even know the official name of this, but what I call the rise and run feature. And basically the rise and run feature is when you don't have anything at the other end of the wall that you can realistically bounce off of, right? Rather than going to a fence or maybe going halfway and then going to the other side and going halfway again and adding the two together, you can use the rise and run feature. Again, that's not the official term, but it basically is the ability for the unit to know how much it's tilted. So you can stand at the corner of one wall and you can tilt up to the soffit, which by the way is always shady, right? And you can see the laser underneath the soffit over to the other side, and it will take out the difference of the rise and run, right? So it's running and it's rising, and it will act as if it's straight across. You don't have to do the math. It does it all for you. That to me is pretty darn important. It all boils down to one thing, folks, and it all boils down to value. Okay. When I talk about value, I'm talking about cost. I'm talking about what you're going to be spending on this unit. Okay. To make sure that you're getting the best value for your money. Right. And right now, as we speak, I'm looking it up now on Amazon. Right now, as we speak, this particular unit is on sale for $389.90 on Amazon as of this recording, okay, the first part of 2024. On Amazon, the unit is the Leica X4. The Leica X4. That is the winner, folks. I've looked at all kinds of units. Yes, in my mastermind group, people bring their laser measures and we look at them and somebody will say, hey, I've got a Bosch and it's really cool. Check it out. Okay. I'm not convinced. Folks, I've looked through so many different models, and to me, this is the most bang for your buck. Now, there's some better units out there. The 810 is amazing. I had the 810 for a long time, but it's overkill, in my opinion. It's too much. There's so much in that unit, it kind of gets confusing, right? It's like using a very complicated calculator when all you need is a very simple Casio, right? The Leica Disto X4 to me is the prime candidate. It's the winner of the race. It is the most bang for your buck for less than $400, folks. You can have this ability. I have 3 of these. I have them in every single one of my car, even though I drive one car primarily. Every once in a while, like today, I drove my truck to work. I got to pick up a trailer after work today, so I drove my truck, and guess what? I've got an X4 in the truck. I've got one in my wife's car. I've got one in my main car. I love them. They are the best bang for your buck. If you're looking, trust me, folks, you don't have to do all the research yourself. I've done it for you. Dustin Harris took one for the team. X4, Disto, that's the way to go. Thank you for joining me today, folks. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. If you've not joined us on YouTube, by the way, please subscribe. Please like this video if it was helpful to you. It really helps us. Again, the Appraiser Coach on YouTube. We'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.